What's up, Gunpla modelers? This is Strider Prime bringing you a new edition of Bandai Models, and today I am going to build the Dessler Battle Carrier from the original Space Cruiser Yamato animated series and the Great Imperial Gamilus Astro Fleet Gelvades class Astro Battle Carrier Darold from the Yamato 21 animated series that just came out this past year. So yes, as you can see, I'm going to be able to be linked to both of these kits. This is the original and this is the updated one, even though it doesn't share the same name title as the original series. It is still a red carrier from the new Yamato series. Now, I got my hands on this at MosquitoCon. I think it was this year, and I got it for a great price of $10. Technically speaking, it's retailing around $8, and if you go on HobbyLink Japan's website, and if you purchase it, it's probably going to cost you a little more with the shipping and stuff like that. But yeah. I thought that would be great, and then of course I didn't realize that this was coming out, and then when it came out I picked it up at Comic-Con. So seeing both of these ships got me thinking, you know what, I gotta do a dual build. And I know I mentioned I was gonna do a dual build with another kit, but you know what, I'm in the mood of building something completely different, non-robotic, you could say. And I love classic Yamato kits and the new Yamato series. It's something to behold. Now, obviously, we're seeing two different types of ships here, and two different types of styles. For one thing, this is not the same scale as this. I went online to find the history of this kit, and apparently, I think there's actually two versions of this kit, and they're both supposedly designated as 1/900th scale kit. Bit strange, you know. Back in the day, they never kept it in. You know, they didn't keep it even. There was the 1,000 scale Yamato. There was the 1/700 scale. There was a 1/500, and then there was a 1/900. There was a 1/800. It's like, okay, which one is which? Clearly, this ship cannot be bigger than this because the anime showed differently. But you know, they never got things squared away back in those days. Unlike now, which pretty much every ship from the Yamato series, other than the fighters, are now at 1/1000 scale, which is a phenomenal scale. Great detail. So that is what am I going to do right now, is I'm going to build both of these kits and paint them, now that the weather is kind of not getting too cold at this moment. So we're going to be reviewing both kits. We're going to be looking at the parts. This is not gonna be like a standard paint job where I can take, you know, an arm and a leg and start, you know, spray painting one color than another. These kits will be easily glued up, assembled, cleaned up. Maybe a slight modification here and there. Obviously, this does not need a modification. And I was thinking of doing some modification on this guy, but I think I'm just gonna give it a straight build, clean up, you know, all the seam lines. Make sure that there's no, you know, gaps, and then do the same thing with this guy, and then prime it, and then paint it. And the colors, I'm definitely want to mix up a bit. It will be red, but it won't be a ridiculous red, unlike this kit, which, if you look at it, it's ridiculous. And I don't know about this one. I know that it has a great tone color, but I want to give it a little bit more tone, and maybe do some things that I wish I could have done. I mean, I should be doing. I'll explain that during the course of the build. So let's begin reviewing both of these kits, starting with the Dessler Battle Carrier. Alright, so according to the site, this is actually a kit that's at 12 inches scale length, supposedly 1/900 scale. We have one portion of the kit that's you know, the massive hull. We have two parts of the hull here, and I guess this happens to be probably the flight deck portion of it. I see it's as it stands. I see the torpedo fighter. Some of the some stuff here, gun turrets. I know that's part of the main gun. We have the upper deck of the ship. I see a part fell off. Oh yeah, and there is another ship in this that was part of the animated series. Because if I remember correctly, there was a command ship that one of the commanders was, you know, away from the carrier. Because when they attacked the Yamato in the original anime, they had 4 carriers. They had 3 of these in different colors: the blue, the green, and I think there was a pink, another color which I can't remember. And then it was this one, followed by this ship. And this ship, if I'm not mistaken, hopefully, no, this is not the ship. I'm sorry, you know what? I'm thinking that was a ship kit as well. No, that's actually the flight deck. That's actually, no, excuse me, the bridge of this. It's right there. Because there was another ship that was like round and had 2 little things over it. Well, I'll show you that when I, you know, on the other kit. But there was another ship in the anime, which I think it had like a way of teleporting the fighters from one place to another, and they were teleporting the fighters to attack the Yamato in specific areas, and Yamato was going completely bananas saying, what the hell is this? But yeah, these are the parts, and then here's the manual. Let's look at that. Not that much information on the manual. It's very simple. We have the assembly of the conning tower, the flight deck, I guess some of the weaponry and stuff. Then the assembly of the fuselage here, assembly of the weapon, and there is a gimmick I see here, which I guess you can do something. Then we have the stand where you can put, you know, connect this here to the stand, and then you can actually flip the flight deck so you can expose the gun and then close the flight deck, which is actually a novel idea. Very cool idea to try that. So that's what the all the parts show for the Dessler battle carrier. Let's look at the Gimmicks assault carrier. All right, so here's the battleship carrier. It's not battle carrier or assault carrier. It's battleship carrier. The Darold, or however you want to call it. And what I was mentioning before, there's that little ship that I was referring to, which teleported the fighters from one end to another. You know, one area of the battlefield to another. And here's this other type of assault ship that has a drill bit, which was designed to wedge its this drill in the barrel of the Yamato, so it wouldn't fire its wave motion gun. And here are all the gimmicks here that we see here. Same thing that we saw in the other kit. And there's more. I'm kind of liking this because, unlike, you know, it's kind of ridiculous in physics seeing a ship where all of its weapons are on top of the ship but not in the bottom, and this is space. You can go under a ship and shoot at it. Here, at least it shows it has some underbelly weaponry, so it can protect itself, you know, in the bottom, which is a good idea. The one thing I'm noticing that this kit does not have is fighters, which is very odd. But let's look at it. You'll be surprised. Alright, so I see some, I don't know if that's stickers or decals, but it could be decals. Yeah, it's decals, actually. And then here's the ship that I was mentioning. There's a lot of surface detail for panel lining here and here. Then we have the base stand. I don't know if this is for this, so we'll take a look at that soon. As you can see, the color is not that strong. It's like a creamy red. Almost the same red that I painted on my Aegis, for those of you who don't remember. So here are the parts here. Here's the parts for this transport ship And there's the drill bit. Here's some other color parts. This red is a little stronger than the other one. There's some charcoal gray, which I'm assuming is for detailing. Then I see a lot of parts here. It's not a solid structure that we normally saw on the original battle carrier. But I do see the features where you can flip it or do something with it where you can expose a different type of flight deck. Very good detail. Amazing. This is going to be an interesting kit to build. And then I guess this is the turrets and the weapons and things like that. Let's take a look at this manual. Alright, so just give me a second here while I adjust the camera. Alright, so this is the two-part page of where, you know, where all the parts are in the tree. Tools that you need to use to make this. And I see the assembly of the body of the ship. It's pretty much two layers here of how to assemble the ship. So it's like, unlike the other one, which is on one deck, you know, one hull. This is two hulls right there. Here's a beautiful shot of what the ship would look like already assembled, and it has that decal, I guess, to put it here. But I don't know how I'm gonna. You know, I may try the decals. If it's not stickers, fine. If it's decal, I mean, no. If it's stickers, I'm not gonna do it. I'd rather paint it. But if it's decals, I'll put it on. After painting, of course. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting kit to build. And to compare it with the other ship. And then, once it completes, you build this ship here, which has its own little wheel, you know, landing wheels and things like that. And then this other ship as well. And then detailed information on how to paint it. As you see there. I got the colors for the gold and the charcoal. It's no big deal. White is easy. It's the red. Because here's the thing. If you look at this clearly, it's a two-tone red. You have the regular red around the entire body here and here. But then you have the flight deck, which is a little bit darker. So I have to figure that out. I may have an idea for that. I may have an idea. So there you have it. The Gelvades class Astro Battleship Carrier. And then, of course, the Battle Carrier. The Dessler Battle Carrier from the Yamato series. This is going to be an interesting build. I hope you guys are going to enjoy what I'm going to do. And I'm going to have fun with this. So, without further ado, let's begin building Dessler's battle carriers.